It's a vision to create a new downtown right here in the Northwest Metro. That vision was put on hold in recent years, but now it's back in the forefront. The City of Brooklyn Center has 80 acres of land it wants to redevelop. That land is what is known as an opportunity site. The site is located largely north of Highway 100 and east of Shingle Creek Parkway. It's where the former Target store is currently being demolished. The city envisions the area as a future downtown. To put it into perspective, the amount of land we're talking about is comparable in scope to Plymouth's redevelopment of the former Prudential campus. This week, the City of Brooklyn Center moved forward with its vision after approving a master plan that had been delayed for years by the pandemic and civil unrest. City officials say it's an important step to attract developers.
Whether or not the markets change soon, that's anyone's guess at this point. It seems to change on a day-to-day basis, but we've been continuing to pursue opportunities to get more grant funding, get more backing, talk to other developers, so that when the market is right, we can move on it and that we're not back at step one.
One intriguing possibility, city officials say they were contacted about the idea of turning the former Target into a destination soccer facility. The city plans to meet with the site's lead developer in a few weeks. Meanwhile, a long-awaited project in New Hope has come to a close. Public Works Director Bernie Weber and Mayor Kathy Hemken cut the ribbon on a newly expanded Public Works building. The project came together in two phases, one focusing on the existing building and adding a new building to store soil. The second phase added this 20,000 square foot expansion, creating a temperature-controlled space to store snowplows and other equipment throughout all seasons.
Things have changed, and this way now we can change on the fly. When the season changes, we can change fast, a lot faster and efficient than it was in the past.
Now when it's actually getting used, especially the new facility expansion, is going to be very enjoyable for both engineering, architectural, public works staff.
City leaders announced that the $6.7 million project was fully within budget. Fans of freshly baked pastries and bread now have another option in Maple Grove. A French-Asian bakery called Tous les Jours celebrated its grand opening on Tuesday at the shops at Arbor Lakes. The name means every day in French, and it's meant to represent their commitment to baking fresh goods daily. The bakery sells a variety of bread, pastries, cakes, and drinks.
I think that it's really nice to have this kind of diversity in the cities, especially because of how the population is so diverse as well, that having offering different types of cuisine and food will allow communities to come together.
This is the second Tous les Jours in Minnesota, but they have plans to add additional stores in Plymouth and Maplewood. An award-winning program at a New Hope high school is pushing students past their comfort zone. As Kevin Miller shares in this edition of School Spotlight, Cooper's student newspaper is helping kids build a bigger skill set.
So really the main thing today is going to be just going in, wrap up revisions on story one.
The day opens with a short newsroom meeting.
We do have two school events happening right now where it'd be nice to grab some pictures.
The main thing I'm focused on, getting good ratios in a picture and everything like that.
Then Cooper High School junior Mariah Washington is out the door with an assignment.
We're going to get pictures for the Cooper High School blood drive.
She's found that sticking a camera in someone's face,
I'm taking the needle out right now, actually.
can be harder than it sounds.
That's why I'm waiting for you to take your picture.
It can be a little uncomfortable because, before working on a newspaper staff, I was probably more timid than I am now.
She's a staffer with the Quill, the student newspaper at Cooper.
The average student doesn't really get a voice, so I think the Quill kind of gives them that.
Now we have, these 15, 16, 17-year-olds that are not afraid of going to adults and asking them questions, including adults they've never met before. That's very satisfying. Those are definitely good life skills post-high school.
That's Eric Zucola.
If you do get those done and want to start thinking about story two,
He says there's room for any student to grow with the publication.
no matter where a student reporter's interest may rest, there's an outlet for that on the paper. And seeing them kind of find their voice as a writer and find their area of interest is always really rewarding each year.
This is a story that I wrote about the spoken word poetry club.
Senior Robin Jarman is a new writer, finding her place in the variety section.
I do like sort of the feeling it gives me whenever I see something that I write kind of being put somewhere.
Any general questions before we jump in?
As these reporters find new skills, they're also finding acclaim. Last year's staff won 2 national honors for their work.
Yeah, it's really satisfying.
That's inspiring for a young journalist.
Yeah, is it okay if I get a picture of you guys?
Like Mariah.
You're part of something that so many people respect and have been a part of, and it's just absolutely amazing to see like the growth. Perfect, thank you guys so much.
In New Hope, Kevin Miller, CCX News.
We'll have a link to the Quill's website on ccxmedia.org. Finally, this segment, a church in Brooklyn Center is keeping a tradition alive while offering a chance to get your holiday shopping done early.
We're just starting to set up for our Bazaar and craft show, and this is the clothing area. We do gently used clothes.
Brooklyn United Methodist Church is hosting its 51st Fall Bazaar and Craft Show this weekend. 40 vendors will offer goods and gifts for your Christmas needs. The bazaar also has gently used books, a silent auction, a bake sale, and other food vendors.
All of our aisles down the hallways will be lined with different vendors, different tables, colorful displays, and everyone is so joyous and happy to show.
The bazaar runs from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. this Saturday.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. The only blemish on the record of the Maple Grove boys soccer team this fall was a tie against Andover in Northwest Suburban Conference play. The Crimson and Huskies met again in the Class 3A semifinals Wednesday morning. Chaz Moots has the highlights.
Maple Grove won a thriller over Rochester Mayo in the state quarterfinals. Andover upset Minnetonka in their opening round match of the 3A tournament. First half, 6-minute corner for the Crimson. Ike Duel hits it. Carter Mask gets a foot on it. Gannon Farns finishes it off. The senior puts in the back of the net. Crimson in front early, 1-0. Huskies trying to answer back. Dylan Schrader chip up ahead. Looks like a routine play, but Caden Hansen forces a turnover, then gathers the ball and goes far side left post and in for the equalizer. We'd head into halftime tied at 1. Second half, 60th minute, it's Duel, 1 tap, 1 touch, shot, and score. A big-time hit from the senior forward gives the Crimson the lead again with 20 minutes left to play. Andover looking to respond again. Their keeper, Christian Gunther, free kick from about 50 yards out. Header from Nathan Haglund, stopped by the Crimson keeper, Xander Waldrum. Big save to keep MG up 1. Then with 10 minutes left on the clock, Maple Grove with possession. A great through ball from Everett Johnson to Parker Carlson, and there's your dagger. The Crimson win it 3-1. They'll be back in the Class 3A state title game for a second straight year, where they'll face Egan on Friday morning. In Minneapolis, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
The Wayzata girls soccer team was looking to make a return visit to the Class 3A title game as they met Egan in the semifinals. Chaz Moots has more.
Class 3A state tournament girls soccer semifinal at US Bank Stadium. Wayzata the 1 seed taking on Egan the 4. A minute 52 seconds into the game, Trojans wasting no time. Tenley Sendin sends a rocket to the top right corner. What a way to start for Wayzata, up 1-0 early. Later in the first half, Trojans with a corner. Lauren Craig, good hit. Ball gets tossed around in the box. Alex Veilleux ends up putting it in the back of the net. Trojans get another. 35th minute, Wayzata staying on the attack. It's Craig again chipping it into the box, and again it's Veilleux sliding in for her second goal of the game. Trojans up 3-0 at halftime. After intermission, 45th minute, Veilleux doing some dishing this time. Up the right side, centering pass to Sophie Hawkinson. The senior puts it away. The Trojans clicking on all cylinders. Veilleux never had a hat trick coming into the Trojan State semifinal game, but she does now. The sophomore midfielder scores her third of the game. Wayzata rolls to a 5-0 win over Egan.
I mean, it felt amazing. Like you said, like getting 1 is awesome, but then getting 3 more is just like an incredible feeling. Getting the first one in is definitely the hardest, and then like after you get the first one in, it just like gives you the confidence like, oh, I can get more in, and then just keep them coming from there.
In Minneapolis, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
The Providence Academy girls soccer team placed third in the Class A tournament last season. The Lions are back at state this fall and had their semifinal game Tuesday night. Jay Wilcox has the highlights.
Second seed Providence Academy taking on third seed St. Charles in the Class A girls soccer semifinals. Lindsay Hutt sends it to Blake Hudson, who finds Madden Greenway. She taps it past the D and goes in alone to score for the Lions. Providence takes a 1-0 lead into halftime of this one. Second half, and it's Beckett Greenway threading it to her older sister Madden. She gets in close to score again for a 2-0 lead midway through the second half. And despite St. Charles' efforts to frustrate Greenway by shadowing her all over the field, she breaks free again to add an exclamation point insurance goal. A hat trick for Greenway. She now has 42 this season as Providence Academy wins 3-0. They meet Southwest Christian for the title Friday night. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.